So I would like to say, sort of in the interest of fairness, that a lot of what I'm probably about to say also does apply to WWE, because they are also booking their tag team division like shit. And yeah, equality and fairness, no tribalism at all. You can both do better. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about the AEW Tag Team Division and 5 ways in which it can be fixed. Now, for something to be fixed, that implies that it's broken, and I do to an extent think the Tag Team Division is broken and can be fixed, because we have come a long old way from where we were in 2019, when that tag team division was first established. From the Lucha Brothers to the Young Bucks to FTR and Bullet Club Gold, we have had a golden era of tag team wrestling because of AEW, and I think we can get back to that high standard in All Elite Wrestling again. But before we dive into that, please subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of them. And also, no slant is meant against any tag teams. I think they are all phenomenal in AEW, and I just want to see the division booked better, and this is how I do it, is a fun little list video. So let's start off with number 1. So number 1 really hurts me. It really hurts me, and I hate to say it, but number 1 is the tag team belts need to come off the Young Bucks. As much as I love, and I do love the Young Bucks, I love Nick and Matt Jackson, I think this gimmick may have run its course in the tag division. Them holding the belts, I don't think is working right now. I get they're using the lack of defenses in their character. I get that they are the EVPs, they hold control, they're making matches, but it's not working for a healthy tag team scene, and I think the belts need to come off them. I think the Bucks would be way better suited with teaming with Okada in the trios division, because if anything, if they're going after the trios titles, they can say, we're going after the trios titles to one up what we did with Kenny Omega. We are going to solidify that the trios titles, they belong to us, this new elite. And who is our best belt machine? It's Okada. Like, that really feels like Kenny has been replaced. Whereas them having the tag belts, they haven't had interesting feuds to me. The Acclaimed haven't been interesting. The 3-way at Wembley wasn't necessarily interesting. The Blackpool Combat Club tag match wasn't really that interesting either. So I think they have got a little bit of a stranglehold on the division, and I think taking the belts off of them would really help it. It'd let more teams rise to the surface and not sort of have to jump over this bar that is the Young Bucks. Sure, they can have a Young Bucks feud down the line, but right now, the Young Bucks as champs, it's not what the division needs. Coming in at number 2, we have promo time, because let me ask you this very good question. When was the last time you had an incredible promo off in the tag division? I cannot think of any. Like, maybe I'm missing one. I can think of amazing matches. I can think of great angles sort of on TV, but I cannot think of just 2 teams in the ring. Everyone's got a microphone cutting an incredible promo, like MJF and Punk, like Hangman and Swerve, like Hangman and Mox, like Mox and Darby this week. Tag teams don't get that opportunity to have promo offs. It's usually the tag team runs down, chases off the other team, and they cut a promo in the ring. That's kind of how FTR sort of operate on Collision. They do that a lot. Acclaim do the rap at the beginning, but you never have that memorable promo battle that excites you to see a feud. I think there's a lot of mileage in having, like, the Grizzled Young Vets and FTR have a 20-minute promo off. Just let them take digs, let them take jabs. It's not really something that's seen in AEW's tag match. They seem to operate on matches for tag teams, which is all good, because the matches are usually goddamn spectacular. But at the same time, I think that you need that promo time for tag teams. Show that they are important, that they are on the same level, because the majority of promo time on AEW Dynamite is singles feuds. It's all singles feuds. Like, you look at this week's, you have Christian Cage, singles feud. You have Darby and Mox, singles feud. You have Nigel McGuinness, singles feud. You have you have Mariah May calling out Mina Shirakawa after, singles feud. There's no tag team promo time, and I think having a tag team promo off adds that variety, and it really heats up a feud. It can be a great little sizzler to sort of get you going into that feud. Coming in at number 3, this is one that I feel really, really strongly about. I only thought of this today, really. That's when I sort of got the idea for this video, and this came to me, and I was like, I think that would work way better, and that is just unify both the tag titles and both the trios titles, not together, obviously, because that would be silly. That would be 5-man titles, and we don't want that. Have the unified AEW tag team titles, merge them with Ring of Honor, have them unified AEW's trios championships, have them unified, and have them defended on both shows. I think that just works a lot better, because you can have sort of top tier stars. They're going to have to appear on Ring of Honor. They're going to have to defend those titles at a Death Before Dishonor or a Supercard of Honor, because they're across brands. And then you can have ROH teams, if they win the belts, have them featured a little bit more on AEW Dynamite. There you can sort of go up the ladder a bit more. Same with the trios titles. You don't need 3 sets of trios titles. Technically 3, because you've got the acclaimed ones. I am struggling to think of who was the trios champion. I know it's New Blackpool Combat Club, and I think it's Dustin and the Von Erichs, and I think Dustin and Sammy are the tag champs. Just merge them. Just merge the tag belts, merge the trios belts, undisputed unified AEW trios and tag champs. New belt design, even though I love the belt design, I think the belt designs are really, really nice. New unified designs, and have them across both shows. That way you can raise talent from ROH to Dynamite, and you can have Dynamite stars draw eyes to Ring of Honor. Because if you saw like not the Young Bucks, because they need to lose the titles, like an FTR, go back to Ring of Honor and do a Death Before Dishonor, do a great series like they did with the Briscoes, or see, the Blackpool Combat Club go down there and have a great match. It just draws more eyes to it. I think unifying those belts, there's too many tag belts. You do not need this many. It is ridiculous. Coming in at number 4, we have the Continental Tag League. I love this idea, and I hope they do it. I don't know if this was my idea, I came up with it today, but it's probably been said a lot. But the way I view AEW's product right now, I think they could easily have 3 Continental Classics. You have the Men's Continental Classic at the end of the year, leading to, I believe, is it Full Gear or World's End? I think it was World's End where it culminated, leading to World's End. You have a Women's Continental Classic, do that around like March, April time maybe. And then you have a Continental Tag League leading into August. Each one take about a month, I think, give or take. And then you just have a month of programming where, okay, it's a Women's Continental it's a Women's Continental Classic. Then you have, in August time, here's the Tag League, winner gets a shot at the tag titles. And then you have the Men's Continental Classic in the winter. That is a month block of television where you can tell in-ring, interpersonal stories, and do what AEW does best. The first Continental Classic, people loved. Like, it was really, really well received. And I think the fact we've not had a tag or a women's announced, when the depth of the rosters is so big, and you can bring across people from other promotions, like Takeshita went across for the G1, you can bring across people from New Japan, open that forbidden door a bit, and then have a really interesting tag scene that doesn't feel bogged down. Like, it doesn't feel like it's not getting represented, because you will have a tag team match in the tag league once a week. Like you would get Grizzled Young Vets versus Young Bucks. You would get Grizzled Young Vets versus Private Party, Private Party versus Top Flight. There's so many tag teams there that you could easily do this. And I think it makes sense to just lock off a month. We're going to have our tag league on television. We've got all our singles feuds cooking on full cylinders. You've got a month's worth of programming for a round-robin tag league. I don't see why that wouldn't work, and it really freshen up and just reinvigorate the division. Like, okay, we're going to try and outdo each other. We're going to have banger after banger after banger after banger and show that tag team wrestling is not dead. Like, tell me that's not a good idea. Not to blow my own horn. Tell me that's not a good idea. And finally, at number 5, the most important one. We just need to establish new teams. Like, the top of the division feels stale. The Young Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaimed. That is the top of your division right now. And I will not have it sort of any other way, because there's not anyone else who is even like remotely close to being, they could beat the Young Bucks. Maybe grizzled young vets, but that's about it. Like, you look at who just won the gauntlet, which is what sort of spurred on this video. It's Ospreay and it's Kyle Fletcher. Yes, members of United Empire, but at the same time, you don't think of them as a team. Whereas you've got the likes of Private Party, Top Flight, Maximum Male Models, I know they'll call that MXM, I think they're called. You have Outrunners. Let's not forget about the Outrunners and how over the Outrunners have been. You have the Workhorsemen as well. They've not been particularly well established. I really like them as an act. You have potentially, as much as I hate it, the Learning Tree. Like, there's tag teams in there, but they're not being allowed to establish themselves and not being able to break through to the top of the division. And that's all that needs to be done, really. You need to establish new teams for this division, because having the trios championships has shattered that. Any team, such as potentially a Death Triangle, such as a potential Blackpool Combat Club, they have all been involved in the trio stuff. So you're having to break people up sort of everywhere to cater to these divisions, where you need set divisions with established acts. Like, you look at the names that I just listed off, that's a stacked division for tag team wrestling. Like, that's a really, really good tag team division. So why is that not being catered to, and why we're not getting high profile feuds? I think way more emphasis needs to be done on the tag division as a whole, and I think just establishing new acts, giving them big wins, giving them stories, giving them promo time, that is what is needed for this division to thrive. And it sounds basic, like that's what you need to do in wrestling, but it is. It's just like an added cherry on top, really, adding like a tag league and adding unified titles. Just establish great acts with great matches, and there you go. That's all you need, really, and that's as simple as it is. But I want to see tag team wrestling doing well. Do you remember how great tag team wrestling was when we were getting like FTR versus the Briscoes and FTR versus Bullet Club Gold? It was so good. Like, we can go back to that. We can. Tag team wrestling needs to be a focus again in AEW, and that's my 5. That is my 5 fixes for the AEW tag division. And I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you not? Let me know, and I'll try and apply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.